Alright, let's start by wetting the whistles so I've got a voice for this video. These carbonated bubbles do wonders. I just got back from a great vacation. And the main focus of my vacation was to go see the Montreal temple. I went through it during the open house. Later this month it'll be dedicated. After that it will be a restricted area, but for now anyone who's going to be respectful and wear shoe coverings is allowed in. Maybe I'll do another video explaining temples. But part of my vacation, the less important part of it, but the one that put some burning thoughts into my mind, was I went to see the Montreal Biodome and Insectarium. Overall, good experience. It was fun to see all those animals. And then the Biodome, they had one display where they talked about phytoplankton, which of course is microscopic plants that are in the ocean. And in part of this display, a couple of paragraphs, maybe it was 3 paragraphs, a short thing, describe CO2, carbon dioxide. Oh no, that's such a scary word. Or it is to sheeple, but not to me. Let me pull myself together here and stop acting like a sheeple. They called it a greenhouse gas and made it sound so scary to someone who didn't realize they were full of crap. And then in that same presentation, they'll let you know what carbon dioxide does. It talked about how 80 or 90% of the carbon dioxide in the world is processed. I use the word absorbed, but really process is the right word. When plants absorb carbon dioxide, something else comes out. It's not carbon dioxide in, nothing out. It's carbon dioxide in, something else out. It's carbon dioxide in, O2, 2 molecules of oxygen that we can breathe coming out. That's photosynthesis. That's the cycle that I learned in elementary school. I'm bringing that up because the global warming, climate change hysterics are not based on real science, and one reason we can be certain of that is they get hysterical about plant food. If there was no carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, all the plants would die, all the vegetarians would starve to death, all the meat eaters would starve to death when the cow was finished eating all the grass and there was nothing for them to eat. Carbon dioxide is not a catastrophic poison. It'll poison you to death if that's all you have, but well, then don't lock yourself in a room without any plants or ventilation and you won't die. But we need the plants to process our carbon dioxide that comes out of us so we have the oxygen. The plants need the carbon dioxide so they can give us oxygen so they can survive. So the global warming hysteric about carbon dioxide, we should not give in to that. I'm 110% behind. I'm completely behind, with some reasonable smog standards. Don't be operating a car that you can see the smoke coming out the tailpipe. Keep it clean. But let's not make our national laws about emissions based on that cockamamie. Carbon dioxide is catastrophic poison and the world will blow up. No. Carbon dioxide is needed for the plants. Let's try not to go nuts on it so that we don't put more out than the plants can process. But let's not act like we're going to cause the world to end. And in the Insectarium, they had a timeline with drawings and fossils and preserved things showing um, the evolution of insects. And one thing that was, wow, I don't remember seeing a timeline put together like that before. But I've heard this subject approached, before, but it's worth repeating. So there's more great truths available on YouTube. The earliest, the first evolved things were the sea creatures, the shrimp and the crab and lobster walking on the bottom of the ocean. And the next were the trilobites, which until today I hadn't really noticed before. They look strikingly like horseshoe crabs. Not 100%, but 99% a slightly deformed horseshoe crab. And in the horseshoe crabs, another bottom-dwelling creature. And I noticed that, and why am I bringing that up? Well, did things end up in those layers because they evolved and each layer of dirt is millions of years or billions of years? Well, there's another way to explain the way those things are laid out. What if there was a worldwide flood? See, if there was a worldwide flood, what would you have? Well, there would be mudslides, massive sedation. If in this worldwide flood things got covered up and fossilized, what would be on the bottom layer? The stuff that was in the ocean or in the water, living on the bottom, not swimming, because that would be the lowest. And then the next layer is stuff that's swimming, but not on the bottom. And then the next layer would be the things that live on the shore, close to the water, marshes. They would get covered next. And the smaller things, the things that can't move as quickly, alligators don't run very fast. They are ambush predators. They don't chase down deer and pigs for miles and miles to get their meals. They wait until the deer, pigs get close to them and poof, lunge. So an alligator is definitely going to get buried more quickly than a deer that could run away, than a pig that's got some good legs designed for running and can run away when the first layer of waves comes through. And eventually the whole earth got covered. I'm sure there were, the whole earth's covered, but it takes a few days or even a few hours. If there's a wave of sediment that comes, covers up an alligator, and there's a pig that sees it coming, or it's not very deep, they could see something bad's coming, the pig can run and get away. The alligator can't get as far away from the bad stuff coming and will get buried. So, in closing, the biodome and insectarium, one proved proved that the global warming, which when I was younger was global ice age, I'm old enough to remember that. When they get even one prediction right, then maybe we should think about taking them seriously. But until then, it's ludicrous to make drastic government controls, drastic laws and changes to our lives based on a prediction by somebody who was wrong in my lifetime. And so that was disproven by those two buildings displacing them, and the fact that there was a worldwide flood was proven by the insectarium, even though they didn't realize that and their words didn't say that. But if you think about the way things lined up, they proved that there was a worldwide flood that covered everything, and not that the crabs are even one day older than the insects that on the land and so not buried quite as deep. Thank you for watching this one. While I was on vacation, I had a thought about another video to make. I made a video ranting about the Supreme Anarchist. Maybe you haven't heard them called that before. They call themselves Supreme Court. Their official name is the United States Supreme Court. But there have been enough ridiculous bad decisions that were contradictory or not based on the Constitution, which the Supreme Court is supposed to be subservient to, for us to feel like we're living in an anarchy where you don't know what the laws are going to be, where you don't know what's going to be allowed or not. But the Supreme Court has had some good decisions, so maybe I'll come up with a video or a video series where I'll give an ode to the good Supreme Court decisions and thank Supreme Court justices who I said names of in my ranting negative video about the Supreme Court, thanking them for being right sometimes. Thank you for this. Have a good day.